Hello, everyone, and welcome to Immigration Live with Lee. I'm attorney Lee Marvin, and I have been practicing law for over 20 years, and I've been specializing in immigration law for over a decade. My main office is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I'm helping all you wonderful people all over the country and all over the world. So the first thing I ask you every week, and today is what, September 16th, Monday, September 16th, is to please type in the chat and let me know where you're joining us from. Okay. So, welcome to everyone who's joining us from all of our social media venues. Tell me where you're joining us from. Okay. It's not just for me, but it's for everyone else who joins us too. And then I'll get to the questions. I already see questions being asked from our friends from YouTube. We have people joining us from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So thank you for joining us. And please post your questions in the comments section, okay? And also post in there where you're from, okay? Or where you're joining us from, I should say. Boston. I love Boston. Amazing city. Very amazing city. Michael, thank you for joining us from Boston, okay? We're going to get to the questions here in just a moment. But first, I want to kind of look at who's joining us from Florida. How can you complain about Florida? What a wonderful place. MA, I'm assuming that's Massachusetts. That might be our friend from Boston. But wherever you're joining us from, welcome. And please type in your questions. If it's not just for you, it's for family, but it's also for other viewers who might not think of a question the way you do and would benefit from the answer. So please post the questions. I do have a few questions from people that posted earlier in our YouTube channel. So I'll get to that stuff in just a moment. So welcome. Joselito, you're always joining us from the Philippines. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And Joselito, I'm not laughing at you, but I am chuckling because I know this is the question that you ask about every week, which is, why is it not going quicker as far as the processing times? Okay, so in Manila, the embassy's priority date is November of 2013. They're just not moving things very quickly. Okay, I think you saw my video that I just posted, which was the visa bulletin. I'm pretty sure you asked this very question on that video that I just posted. It's just like I'm a broken record, and I feel like a broken record, and I don't like it. But it's not about me because I'm not the one who actually processes things or moves things along with immigration. I just regurgitate and provide the information to people. So, Joselito, I don't have a good answer for you other than, yeah, it is taking long, and they're not really moving that quickly with this category from our good friends in the Philippines. So I really feel for you with that. So the only thing I can say is keep logging in and joining us and asking your questions. I wish that you had an actual question about your case, because that would probably be more helpful. But every month I do post the processing times, but you're always welcome. And if I have good news for you, I will absolutely let you know what that is. So thank you, Joselito, for being a very loyal fan for us. I wish I had more information for you, but thank you for joining us from the Philippines nonetheless, okay? And another friend from Boston. It looks like two different people from Boston. So thank you for joining us from Boston, okay? Yuliani Gonzalez asked the question, I have a petition for my sister. The case migrated to Ellis. The petition has been over 10 years. Yep, that's true. I will say that sibling sponsorships are always the bottom category. The F4 category is the lowest category, and it takes the longest. Most of the time, most of the time it's about 17 or more years, 17 to 20 years. I know we've got lot of friends who join us from Mexico, and the processing time in Mexico with that category is the longest. It's about 17 years right now. So sorry to break the news to you. It's been that way for a while, and it doesn't seem to be changing anytime quickly. The important thing is absolutely that you do have a date, you have a priority date based on your sponsorship from your family member, your sister in this case. You can't move forward in time if you don't actually have a case pending with the government. So that's a good thing. Even if it takes years, at least you have a process or you have skin in the game. So that's definitely a good thing. So 1 second. Canal USA. My marriage interview case is May 22 of 2024, still pending almost 115 days. Is it normal processing for that? For marriage interview, the question I'm going to ask is what country, where you are, because it depends. And that's one of the videos that I've recently done too, is that the processing times for the different processing centers and the different states, the different regions. They're all very, 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 very different. Check out that video if you haven't already. The fact that you're joining us from YouTube means that you have probably seen that video, because it depends on where you are as to how quickly they're going to process your time. So take a look at that video if you haven't already. And in case this is your first time joining us from whatever platform you're joining us from, check out my YouTube channel, because I have well over 300 videos where I regularly update my videos and put new information on there about different processing times and different questions that people have. So check that out. And I always welcome questions, comments, and suggestions for videos, okay? Because if you need a video, you want a video, put it in there and I'll do a video, okay? So you're New York, okay. So your processing time is in New York. Check out that video. Like I said, I don't know off the top of my head what the processing time is for the regional office in New York. So check that out. And there's a video. In my video, I tell people how to check out their processing times on the USCIS website. It's no secret. You just have to go in there and you have to look up the right area to get the processing times. You select the different field office and it tells you where they are in the processings, okay? I always do a select sampling of processing times for different areas. Typically, I do New York, but if I haven't, you can always check it out and you can look it up yourself, okay? So I've been told that our good friend Fritz is joining us tonight. Fritz, trying to see what platform you're joining us from. We have a ton of people from Instagram. So Fritz, thank you for joining us. Say hi to your lovely wife and your beautiful little girl. And thank you for joining us. If you have questions, please post it. I imagine you might not. You're just joining us because you love to see this information. But if you have a question, please post in the comment section. Got people joining us, and I'm going back over here. Instagram, there's a ton of people, so I want to check it to see where people are joining us from. Gat David, I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is the Eastern time zone, Detroit time zone. So that's where I'm broadcasting from tonight. Let me go up here real quick. Okay. So question from Lady 77. Okay. After your 2-year extension is expired, what's the next step? Okay, you're joining from Florida. So thank you. Again, a lot of people from Florida tonight. So thank you. After the 2-year extension is expired, if you're talking about getting your green card based on marriage to a U.S. citizen and you have a conditional green card, that's usually good for 2 years. And then you're not extending it after 2 years, you're removing your condition on your conditional green card. Okay, what does that mean? It means that your green card is not the full 10-year green card. It's only 2 years. So after that 2-year period of time, actually before the end of the 2 years, you have to apply to remove your conditions. The condition is basically proving to the government that you are in a bona fide or legitimate relationship and that they can give you a 10-year green card, not just a 2-year. If you don't remove the condition, eventually they will say, thanks for playing, but you're done. You're lapsed, your green card is no longer valid. And if you want a green card again, you have to start from scratch. So it's not an extension and it's not a renewal. It's the removal of condition. I have a number of videos on my YouTube channel about that. So check that out. If you have a question, I'm going to put the link so that you can reach out to me directly. If you have that question, which I get a lot of questions about this, and I help a lot of clients with the removal condition process. A lot of people think that it's simple. It's just filing something online. It's not. And I tell you what, I preach to people on my lives every week because people are dead wrong when they think that it's something very simple. Because again, immigration has created this mystique about their process, and what they want people to think that they're very helpful. And you go to immigration if you want help with immigration. Absolutely, so far from the truth, it's not funny. You don't go to immigration for help with the process that it's in their power to reject or to grant. You don't. You go to someone who's done this, who knows the law, and who knows how to get you an approval without it being denied. So that's why I say, don't rely on the government. Don't rely on yourself. You need to seek the proper assistance for this process, especially removal of condition, because you don't want to botch a process after you've originally gotten a 2-year approval. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next question. 1 second. Okay. So question, let's see. Is the estimated time on your immigration time frame accurate? So, Samantha, I would like a little bit better question. Are you talking about a video you saw, or are you talking me just, spitballing here and giving a general idea of how much processing times are? Please give me more clarification so I can answer your question the right way. My estimates are just that, estimates. What are the estimates that I give on my YouTube channel, on my videos, on this live? What are my estimates based on? Real life experience from dozens and dozens of clients. So my estimates are very accurate based on my clients. Okay, so that's the best I can say. Okay. Question from QT20. When filing concurrently for marriage-based petition, what are the fees for my stepchild? Okay, so that I do have again videos, as I've already said, on everything. I don't know what the costs are for these things. I have to look these up. I very intentionally do not memorize those costs anymore because the government changed them just this past year. They changed those pricing. For years, I knew what the pricing was, and now I don't even try to remember anymore. Why? Because I just go look it up, okay? So I don't know the answer to that. I could get you an answer. If you wanted to click the link and contact me or my staff, we would be happy to give you that information. Or you go on USCIS website and you can look up that information. Check out my YouTube channel. I teach you how to do that, but I just don't have the information in my brain. And I really don't have the time to look it up for you right now. I apologize for that. So please check me out in other ways and we can get that information for you, okay? The good thing is your stepchild is able to be sponsored, okay? That's a huge thing. Age makes a big difference with your stepchild. If your stepchild is a minor, there's no issue. If your stepchild is older, it might be an issue. So check out my channel. and my link if you want to reach me directly, okay? So let's see. My friend overstayed his visa due to health issues. Can he still file for asylum? Okay, so that question and your handle, your name is, I'm not going to even try to say it on the live because it's confusing. So basically, it is possible. It depends on what the reason is, and it depends where you are in your process. It depends if your asylum is affirmative or defensive. It depends on so many different things. But immigration, the law does provide people a way to be able to still file for asylum, even if it's beyond the year, 300, quite literally 365 days. If it's past that 365 days, it's still possible to do it. It really depends on those other factors that I mentioned. Hello, Amy Marshall. Thank you for joining us. Good friend here in Grand Rapids. Appreciate your support. So again, if you've overstayed a visa due to health issues and you now want to file for asylum, the main thing is not really the visa. The main thing is how long you have been in the United States beyond that period of time, okay? So let's see, what else do we have? Let me go over. I don't want to neglect my friends on YouTube. So let me switch gears here. I bounce between the different platforms, so forgive me here, because there's a bunch of people here that have been asking questions. Let me get to these friends here. Okay, so Grace International Film Limited. My fiance and my kids and my mom are in Liberia. I want to do a fiance visa. What can I do? So if you want to file a fiance visa for your fiance, absolutely you can do that. I've done for years, I've been helping people with that. So if you wanted help, I could help you with that. But if you have a fiance visa and you are a U.S. citizen, I'm presuming you are. Let's see, you're in Indy. I love Indy. I spent a lot of time down in Indy, Grace. So Indy is a great state, and it's a freaking amazing city. So again, Grace, if you are a U.S. citizen, you have the right to sponsor your fiance. Only U.S. citizens can do that. I can help you with that. If you want to sponsor your kids and your mother, also as a U.S. citizen, you have the privilege of doing that. And again, I help people all the time with that. So click on the link that I put above, and I can post it again here. If you want to reach out directly to me, so that I can help you with that, here's the link, okay? Let's see, Elna. I received my VAWA receipt in February, but I haven't received my work permit. Do you think I should follow up? If so, how do I go about it? Okay, so here's the deal with that. February, the bona fide determination. I know you know what that is because you are doing your VAWA, okay? VAWA is slightly different than a U visa. It typically follows the same time period as the U visa. It's slightly different, but if you haven't got your work permit based on the VAWA receipt, you should be reaching out to them, okay? Them meaning immigration. Because if you've gotten that receipt and you've filed your work permit, then it typically is not supposed to take that long. So it doesn't hurt to reach out to immigration to, that 800 number, to reach out to immigration to ask them. That 800 number is on the back of your receipt. There's only one 800 number that immigration uses. So just look for an 800 number on the back of your receipt, give them a call, and do not hang up the phone until you get somebody on the phone, okay? They will do all sorts of things to make it take forever and make people drop off the call. That's kind of how the government works. Don't drop off the call. Just wait for somebody, okay? Let's see here. Let's see. So this is a follow-up question. Yep, I got Fritz here again. Hi, Fritz. I finally caught up with your response. So great to see you. I mean, well, you know what I mean. Um, Normal answering times decision 120 days. If after no answering, I'm opening Mandamus case, is that better? Okay. Um, so this question from Keenan, USA. Let me go back up here and find the front part of your question. Um, if immigration is not responding to you after 120 days, um, everything depends on what the processing time is because they're not obligated to respond to you unless your case is beyond the normal processing times. Okay. And they post that stuff online. If you need to look at my YouTube channel and see my video, I explain that. Okay. But if you're beyond the normal processing time, then you do have the right to force immigration to respond to you. Okay. And usually what you do is my case, going on the website, USCIS website, and you submit an inquiry saying cases beyond the normal processing time. If they're still not responding to you within a reasonable period of time, and they will tell you what that means to them, then yes, you can do things like filing a writ and holding their feet to the fire. That takes a lot more work and money because you have to have an attorney help you. So first, exhaust all your remedies within USCIS by going and challenging them to respond to your request. And if that doesn't work, then you move to the bigger, more extreme measures. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, before I come back down to one of my friends on YouTube, I'm going to Instagram real quick. Okay. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. My 2-year was expired. I got another 2 years extension. What's the next step after the second extension expires? So again, this is a follow-up with Exquisite Lady 77. Okay, so that is the government's method of saying we're so stinking busy, we're so far behind, we're giving you an automatic extension. I've never had a client have a second extension that went to a third extension. Okay. Maybe they're doing that now, but typically you get an approval before that. But the government's position is, I mean, get off our case. We're doing our job and you're not at harm because we're automatically extending your underlying approval, which means that you can work, you can get renew your driver's license. You just don't get your full approval yet. And from a government standpoint, a legal standpoint, that's not a problem. It might be annoying to you, but they legally keep you in a protected status. So there's not a whole lot you can do about that because the government has not put you at harm and they're making it possible for you to do everything you need to do for this sort of process. Okay. Again, Exquisite Lady in Florida, again, a lot of people join us from Florida today. Love Florida. It feels like Florida here in Michigan right now because it's like in the upper 80s at this point in time in September, and that's not quite so common. I've heard of such a thing called global warming. I don't know if that's what this is, but it sure is hot here. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, so again, yeah, so Samantha kind of gave a tip to a Exquisite Lady. If you're still married, you can do your citizenship. Yes, thank you for that, Samantha. So if you are still married to a U.S. citizen who sponsored you, and you've had your legal permanent residency, even if it's in a conditional status, technically, all you need is that 3-year period of time married to a U.S. citizen before you're permitted to file for citizenship. I've had many clients over the years that get citizenship before their underlying legal permanent residency is actually converted to a 10-year green card. So thank you, Samantha, for pointing that out. absolutely true. So do the math. If you're 3 years or more, you can file for citizenship. I can help you if you need help, and I posted my link above if you needed that, okay? So let's see here. One second. Okay, so Samantha now is asking, is the estimated time from USCIS accurate? I don't know. That's a question that I get a lot, is how accurate is it when immigration posts stuff online? In my humble opinion, it's not accurate whatsoever. It's the only thing we have, it's the only guidance we have that the government provides information to us. It's not really accurate. But what are you going to do? Sometimes they're spot on, most of the time they're not. You got to understand, with bureaucracies and like USCIS, immigration, they got a lot of things going on. They have a tough job. I'm not defending the government, or at least I don't do it very often, but they do have a tough job to do, and they have thousands and thousands of people trying to move forward with their processes. So they're doing the best they can. So they post things in order to give people guidelines, and that's all this stuff is. So how accurate is it? I don't know. It really depends, but at least there's some sort of guideline that they are trying to help people figure out. Okay. They gave me 2 months to make a decision on my case. And again, Samantha, I don't know what case that is. So it's hard for me to really gauge whether 2 months is a lot of time or a very little period of time. If you posted above, I don't remember it because there's lots of things going on here. So if you have more direct questions, you can always click the link and book a consultation with me, and I can answer your questions. I can look up stuff. So check me out, okay? Okay, let me see here. Okay, so a question from the real Bernard, and I recognize this fan friend from a while back. When I'm doing my green card application, can my wife do the I-130 form for both me and my son? He is 16 years old, or should I wait until I get my green card and then she does it? Okay. The great thing about immigration and these different processes is that they're not mutually exclusive, meaning if you have one, it doesn't mean you cannot do the other. This is an example. You can have multiple people sponsoring or filing multiple requests for the same person. So if you have a mother or father, stepmother, whatever it is, you can file multiple I-130s for multiple people. So I say do it because it provides more options for you, okay? Let's see here. Okay, so let me go over to YouTube again. Here we go. Joy. And I'm getting close to my time, so I'm trying to get these questions answered for you all, okay? I'm here on a J1 visa without the 212E rule, and my girlfriend goes to school, so she doesn't make a lot of money. That's why I'm going to do it from India because my J1 visa expires next April. So by the time I'll have we're finding joint sponsor. That's exactly what you're going to want to do, Joy. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Let me look up here. I'm not sure if Yolandi asked the question above. Okay. Here we go, Yolandi. From Guyana. Thank you for joining us from Guyana. My priority date is 9/20/24. That is recent. And no letter from National Visa Center yet. What should I do? If the date passed and no letter. Okay. So Yolandi, so September 20th. So here's the thing with the priority dates. If you don't have a letter, actually the letter is an email from the National Visa Center. Okay. Some people, depending on how long your case has been pending, you may have gotten that email a long time ago. So it might not be a recent thing, but you can always do is you can reach out to National Visa Center and you can query them. You can ask them about it. So September 20th of 24, actually, I must be crazy because September 20th hasn't happened yet. So you're being preemptive here. If you don't hear anything in the next week, you're wondering what you do about that. You can always contact immigration, but check your email because that's typically where it comes. Check in the past because that information may have already been sent you, okay? And since I'm here, I'm looking at Noble MP. Can I withdraw my marriage 485 that I filed with a parole under the 212D5A issued by ICE at the border and refile a new 485 with my military parole in place I-94? Noble, yes. If you've got a military parole in place, and you've got an I-94 for that, you can use that. You might not have to withdraw your 485. You can just provide that information to immigration in order to show them that you have that process. This is uber super technical. So this particular issue, I've never had to do this, right? A lot of immigration law is about figuring it out as you go. You have clients ask you these things and then you do it. I do the research. Theoretically, you can withdraw it. And if you're married to a U.S. citizen, that's not going to harm you because there is no waiting period. So that is conceivably a good way of doing it. But it might be better to just take that I-94 to the interview when they schedule it and give it to them at that point in time. Okay. So holy cow, I'm already beyond my time. And lots of really good questions. I apologize if I didn't get to everyone. I know I didn't, but thank you for joining us again. Lots of really good questions, super duper technical. And I see a lot of people. Our friend Mr. M from Nashville, thank you for joining us. You're a regular friend to us, so thank you for that. Again, I say this at the end of every broadcast. Jump on early and ask your questions early. If I didn't answer your question tonight, jump on early so that I can get to you earlier on, because as you guys see, the more I go, the more questions there are, and all of a sudden it's like a backlog, just like immigration. I get backlogged too with questions. So log on next week at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's Detroit time, so I can answer your questions. If you need to reach me before then, the link that I posted is the link to contact me directly so we can speak with your Zoom, on the phone, direct communication with me, and I can help you instantly if you do that, okay? So Noble, my pleasure. Have a very good night to everyone who's joined us. Thank you to all my friends, both my social media friends and my actual friends here in the area. Thank you kindly for joining, and we'll see you next week.